In this lesson, we will learn 10 different phrasal verbs, and all of them start with the word look. Okay? Now, look, of course, means to see with the eyes. All right? But what are phrasal verbs? Phrasal verbs are when we have a verb, in this case, just one verb, look, followed by different words. Could be different prepositions or different other words which form expressions. Okay? So let's look at what they are, because these are used all over the place. They're used at home, they're used at work, they're used in school. Okay? And even if you just go out, you will hear these phrasal verbs being used every day. So it will be very useful for you to learn to understand them and also to start using them because they're not very hard. And also because they may be different in your own languages. Okay? So let's learn. All right. So the first one. This is the most basic one. All right? To look at something. For example, if I had a watch, I could say I'm looking at my watch. Right? So to focus your eyes on something is to look at something. Or I'm looking at the ceiling. I'm looking at the floor. Okay? I'm looking at you. All right? So that is just to look at. That is just to focus your eyes on something and see it. All right. Now, the next one, to look for something. Do you know what that means? All right. That's usually when you can't find something. So you say, I'm looking for my keys. Have you seen my keys? I'm looking for my cell phone. Have you seen my cell phone? Okay. So to look for means to search for something that is lost or that you just can't find at the moment. Okay. So look at, just use your eyes. Look for, search for something. Good. You got those two. Let's continue. Number 3, to look after. Now, what is that? Look after. Again, don't worry about the meaning of these words exactly. Look at the whole phrase. All right? So to look after someone, usually, or something, means to take care of. Usually we use this when we're talking about children, okay? I'm looking after the baby. I'm looking after the kids this evening. All right? I'm taking care of them. Okay? So to look after something is to take care of. Very good. All right? So you've already got 3. Let's continue. Now, let's look at these two. These two kind of go together a little bit in terms of the meaning. So one is to look ahead, and the other one is to look back. Now, you see when I said look ahead, I pointed this way, and I said look back means that way. Now, the regular meaning of these words could be just like that, actually physically. But as a phrasal verb, it means something else. When I say I'm looking ahead, it means I'm looking ahead in terms of the future. I'm thinking about the future. Okay? And when I say I'm looking back, it means I'm thinking about the past. All right, you got it. Okay? So a company, for example, let's suppose it's November and they're looking ahead in December. All right? So they say, when we look ahead, we expect that sales will increase tremendously in December. Now it's January and they're analyzing what happened and they say, looking back, we see that our sales were even higher than we expected in December. Okay? Looking back, looking at the past. Looking ahead, thinking about the future. All right, good. You've got half of these already. Do you remember look after? What was look after? To take care of, usually children. Okay? Look for something. Can't find my watch, can't find my keys, can't find my cell phone. I'm looking for them. Okay? And look at, just physically see with your eyes. Let's continue. Number 6. Number 6 and number 7. Somewhat similar, but the meaning is completely different. Okay? So, the regular meaning of look up, if you call out to me and say, look up. Oh, look, it's a bird, it's a plane, it's Superman. Okay, that's just looking up. All right? but that's not the meaning when it's a phrasal verb. When it's a phrasal verb, it has a different meaning, right? So to look up something, in the old days, usually we looked up something in the directory, in the telephone book, which barely exists anymore, or to look up, we can still look up the meaning of a word in a dictionary, okay? But today, we also use the same phrasal verb to look up information online, because there are online dictionaries, and besides dictionaries, there's just all kinds of information, right? So whenever you want to check out something or find out more information, you can look it up, or you can look up that information online, okay? That means to search for some information specifically. All right. This one, which also starts like that, look up, but look up to. This has a completely different meaning. This has to do with people, okay? So when you look up to someone, you respect them, you honor them, okay? You think highly of them, all right? So, for example, people look up to their parents. People look up to their grandparents. People may look up to someone who is very successful in society, all right? You look up to them. It's not physically that you look up, but in terms of metaphorically, you are respecting them, okay? So those two are similar in terms of the words, but different completely in terms of meaning. Now we have 3 more, okay? Stick with me. These are used, as I said, every day. You'll hear them all over the place. So it's really worth understanding what they mean. So suppose you work in an office and your boss says, can you look over this report for me and tell me if everything's okay? All right. So what is your boss asking you to do? He or she is asking you to look over something, means to check it quickly. Go through it, check it quickly, not in detail, but go through it quickly and make sure that everything is okay. That means to look over something. Or for example, an essay. Many students ask me to look over their essays. Of course, they don't want me to do a quick job. They want me to do a detailed job. But generally speaking, to look over something is to just go through it quickly, review it, and make sure it's okay. For example, at the end of let's say you're doing an exam like the IELTS or the TOEFL and you've written an essay. And if you have a couple of minutes, you want to use those few minutes to look over your essay and see if you made any mistakes and correct anything. Okay? All right. The next one, to look into something. What does that mean? A regular meaning would just see there's a box and I want to see what's inside and I'm looking into that. But that's not the meaning here. The phrasal verb meaning is to investigate something. For example, if there is a crime that's been committed, the police look into the matter. Look into it. They investigate it. Okay? And the last one we have here is to look forward to something. All right. So here, this is very common. It's used very often at the end of emails, right? I'm looking forward to something. This is a really important one because of 2 reasons. One is we use it very often. Okay? The second is that people make a mistake with this all the time. And they write, I look forward to meet you. For example, that's not right. I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to seeing you. Means I really want to. I'm waiting eagerly. I'm waiting happily to something. So I look forward to meeting you. I look forward to seeing you. I look forward to speaking with you. I look forward to discussing this with you. Okay? But the important point is, whenever you use this expression and this phrasal verb, make sure to add ing here. Okay? It's really important.